Hi ladies, welcome back. So as you can see, I'm trying to feel festive. I don't feel so Christmassy yet, so I'm trying to get myself into that spirit and trying to get you guys into that spirit too. Now, today's video was a requested video and it really falls in line with this first date series that we've been trying to do right now. So let's get into this topic. This video is about the conversation aspect that you guys need to focus on first dates, and this is obviously geared towards women that are dating more successful men and career driven men. You guys are probably going to be so over me for saying the same thing every single day, but the first thing that you need to think about for your first date is the look of it all. Okay, so make sure that your look is A1, because guys are looking at your looks. They're not looking at the things that are coming out of your mouth if your look isn't what they like, if that makes sense. So they're only paying attention to what you say if they like the way that you look in the first place. So make sure you look how you did when they first met you, or when you first, started speaking. Look like that or look better. Obviously, why that was American, or look better. So do that first of all. Then when you are on your date, let me just tell you guys quickly from the man's perspective, because it's a bit quicker, and then I'll go into what you guys need to do. So the guy will be leading the conversation. He will be leading, and the reason why he will be leading is because he is a successful man. He is used to dominating in that way. He's used to being the head of the boardroom or stuff like that. He's used to giving directions, or he's used to stuff like that. He's used to leading. He's a leader in his day-to-day life. So when it comes to your date with you, and being that you're probably younger than him and stuff like that, he has no problem leading, and that is what he will do as long as you let him do that. Now, the reason why it's important that you let him do that is because when you don't, and you waffle on and you start banging on about your day and your cat and your dogs and your auntie that's in the hospital and stuff like that, he downstairs, his hoo-ha just says mwah mwah mwah. And when his hoo-ha says mwah mwah mwah, when it dies on you, it means that you are probably not going to get to date number 2. So keep your mouth not always going. Don't always let it be running, okay? So let him lead in that conversation. Let him ask you things when you first meet. Hey, how are you? I'm so pleased that we finally met. La, 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 whatever. Give him a cuddle, sit down and smile, and let him speak to you first. Let him ask you something. When you start a conversation with him, your aim is to ask questions about him. And the reason why is because successful men are very, very good, and they love speaking about themselves, and they can do this for a sustained period of time. You'd be really, really surprised. And if you guys date successful men, then you already know they can just waffle on about themselves for a really long time. So ask them questions about themselves. And the reason why you do this is because A, it takes up a lot of time on your date speaking about them, and that way they don't know that much about you, so you remain a bit of a mystery and you're still intriguing, and you're like a puzzle that they need to solve, and they can't do it on the first date because you haven't told them enough about you. Therefore, really, they would need a second date with you. The other reason why you do that and you ask them questions about themselves and you allow them to speak about themselves is because it makes them feel in their mind like they're having a lovely conversation. And that is because most people deep down love speaking about themselves, or their own situations, their own experiences, their past, their goals, or what their achievements. They love speaking about stuff like that, and it makes them feel happy. Rather than just speaking about somebody else and the focus being on them, they like the focus to be on them. So keep the focus on your date. That's your main objective in terms of conversation. Now, when I say for you guys to ask them questions, I don't mean ask them things like, so do you want to get married in 5 years? Do you have children? How many children do you have? Do you this? No. What was the topic for your meeting today? No. It needs to be light conversation, fun, flirty conversation. That's what you're doing. You're trying to make him feel like he's on a date, not like he's still in the boardroom. So be a date and don't be a work companion. You could ask him, do you enjoy traveling? And he's obviously going to say yes, because who doesn't like traveling? That's an instant connection that you have right there, and he will probably ask you back as well. So that's a bond that you guys have. But anyway, when he responds back and says all of the places that he's been to, the whole 30-40 countries he's been to, which most of these successful men have been to tons and tons of places, then you can ask him more questions about that. Now, you can ask him about the experiences that he's had, the best country that he's been to so far. Maybe because he loves traveling, he's learning a language. So ask him things that are fun and a bit different, as opposed to, what do you do for work? What time do you start? When do you break up for Christmas? Don't ask boring, tedious things. Ask things that are a bit more fun and stuff like that, okay? So go to the notes on your phone or pen and paper or something and write down different things that you could ask. So based on the conversation that you've had prior to the first date, or even if you haven't spoken that much before the first date, still write down some things that you could ask that are a bit more fun and date-like questions. So ladies, bear in mind that it's not your job to initiate all of the conversation. It's not your job to lead the conversation, and it's not your job to ask 1,000 questions, and especially not serious questions, okay? Now let's move over to when he's asked you questions about yourself. The way to respond to those questions is very in an evasive way. Don't give everything away. You don't want to be completely open and be wearing your heart on your sleeve and tell him that you want 5 babies and that you want to be married in 6 months and this, that, and the third. So make sure that you are not very forthcoming with all of your responses. So when he asks you, and this he probably will ask you, so what are you looking for? A response to that would be just to date different people and create new fun experiences, really. And you keep it light, and that's it. That's it. You don't go into it like you're talking to your friends, and no, you be evasive. That's the goal here, evasive. So stick to that and I'm sure you'll be fine. Try to put yourself in the guy's position as a woman, knowing that men really don't love commitment. They don't love diving into something rapidly. Make sure that your answers are not desperado seeming and not overly excited, you know? And that's this video. That's my tips for today. So if you guys feel like I've missed anything out, please put it in the comment section, because you have amazing tips and advice, and I would really appreciate that if you did put that in the comment section. Also, thumbs up if you like the damn video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Yeah, season's greetings.